If you're anything like me, you've probably stared at your grocery receipt and wondered, how did I spend that much on food this week? I've been there more times than I can count. Groceries are one of those sneaky expenses that can balloon before you know it, especially if you're juggling work, family, and all the little things life throws at you. But over the years, I've picked up some tricks, some big, some small, that consistently save me over $200 a month on groceries. And today, I'm sharing my 10 favorite grocery shopping tips so you can put that money back in your pocket too. Whether you're shopping for one or feeding a whole crew, these strategies are easy to start and they really do add up. First things first, never head to the store without a plan. I used to think meal planning was only for super organized people, but it turns out it's for anyone who wants to stop buying random stuff and start saving real cash. Every Sunday night, I spend about 15 minutes looking through my fridge, freezer, and pantry. I jot down what I already have and figure out a few meals I can make with those ingredients. Then I fill in the gaps with a short list of things I actually need. This way, I'm not buying a bunch of duplicates or impulse items that just end up going bad. It's amazing how much you can save just by using up what you already have. And if you're worried about getting bored eating the same meals, try picking a theme for each week, like taco night, soup night, or breakfast for dinner. It keeps things fresh and makes meal planning feel like less of a chore. My second tip is to make and stick to a grocery list. I know it sounds simple, but trust me, this one's a game changer. Once you've planned your meals, write down every single ingredient you need, then put it in the order you'll find it in the store. I like to use my phone for this, but a good old-fashioned piece of paper works too. The key is to stick to the list, even when you're tempted by flashy displays or deals on things you weren't planning to buy. This alone helps me avoid those last-minute snacks and extras that can easily add $20, $30, or more to a single trip. If you find yourself wanting to grab something that isn't on the list, just pause and ask yourself if you really need it this week, or if it can wait until next time. Tip number 3, never shop hungry. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the store right after work, stomach growling, and ended up with a cart full of chips, cookies, and frozen pizzas. Shopping hungry is a surefire way to blow your budget because everything looks good when you're starving. Now, I make sure to have a snack before I hit the store, whether it's a banana, a granola bar, or even just a handful of nuts. When you're not ruled by hunger, it's so much easier to make smart, budget-friendly choices and avoid tossing extra treats into your cart. Give it a try next time. You'll be amazed at the difference. Next up, let's talk about unit prices. Stores love to make it tricky to compare prices, but this little trick saves me a ton. When you're choosing between two products, say a big tub of yogurt versus a bunch of small single-serve cups, look at the shelf tag for the unit price. That's the cost per ounce, pound, or whatever unit the product is measured in. 9 times out of 10, the larger size is a better deal, but not always. Taking a few seconds to check the unit price helps you spot the real bargains and avoid getting tricked by fancy packaging or sale signs that aren't actually saving you money. Once you get in the habit, it becomes second nature, and your wallet will thank you. Tip number 5 is all about embracing store brands. I used to be loyal to certain name brands, convinced they tasted better or were higher quality. But then I started trying out store brands, sometimes called private label or generic. And honestly, most of the time I can't tell the difference. Things like canned beans, pasta, rice, bread, and even cheese are almost always just as good as the name brand, and sometimes they're even made by the same companies. On average, I save 25 to 30% just by swapping out a few products each trip. Next time you're shopping, challenge yourself to try at least one store brand swap. If you love it, stick with it. If not, no harm done. But you might just find a new favorite and save a bundle in the process. Let's talk about sales and coupons for tip number 6. I used to think couponing was too much work, but with all the digital options now, it's easier than ever. Most grocery stores have their own apps where you can clip digital coupons before you shop. I make it a habit to check the weekly ad and the app for deals on items I already buy. If boneless chicken is on sale, I'll plan a couple meals around it and maybe pick up an extra pack for the freezer. The trick is to only use coupons or buy sale items for things you'd actually use, not just because they're a good deal. Otherwise, you end up with a pantry full of stuff you don't like, and that's money wasted. Keep it simple. Match your list to the week's best deals and let the savings stack up. Tip number 7 is one I wish I'd learned sooner. Buy in bulk, strategically. Bulk doesn't always mean those giant warehouse club sizes. It can just mean picking up a bigger bag or family pack if you know you'll use it. Staples like rice, oats, beans, or pasta are perfect for this because they last a long time and cost less per serving in larger packages. If you have kids or roommates, splitting bigger packs of meat or snacks can save everyone money. Just be careful not to buy more than you can realistically use before it goes bad. Nobody wants to throw away wilted lettuce or freezer-burned chicken. Start small, see what you use often, and build your own little stockpile of budget-friendly basics. Next, let's talk about shopping the perimeter of the store. Grocery stores are designed to get you to spend more, and the most processed, expensive items are usually in the middle aisles. The perimeter is where you'll find fresh produce, dairy, meat, and bread, the building blocks of healthy, budget-friendly meals. I start my shopping trip around the outer edge, filling up my cart with the basics, and only venture into the center aisles for things I really need, like spices or canned goods. Not only does this help me avoid pricey snacks and convenience foods, but it also keeps my meals simpler and my wallet happier. Tip number 9 is to pay attention to food waste. I used to cringe every time I had to throw out wilted spinach or moldy berries. That's literally money in the trash. Now I make a point to check my fridge every couple of days and move things that are about to go bad to the front, so I remember to use them up. If I bought too much bread, I'll pop it in the freezer. If my veggies are looking sad, I'll make a soup, stir-fry, or smoothie. And I try to plan at least one clean out the fridge meal every week, where I get creative with whatever's left. It's actually kind of fun to see what I can whip up, and it keeps me from overbuying the next time I shop. Finally, and maybe most importantly, set a grocery budget and track your spending. I used to just swipe my card and hope for the best, but when I finally sat down and added up what I was spending each month, I was shocked. Setting a realistic budget for groceries gives you a target to aim for, and tracking your receipts helps you spot patterns and make adjustments. I use a simple spreadsheet, but there are plenty of budgeting apps that make it even easier. Challenge yourself to shave $10 or $20 off your total each week and celebrate your wins, big or small. It feels so empowering to see that number go down and know you're in control of your money. Let's do a quick recap of those 10 tips. 1. Plan your meals around what you already have. 2. Make a detailed grocery list and stick to it. 3. Never shop hungry. Or check unit prices to find the best deals. Funny. Try store brands instead of name brands. So take advantage of sales and digital coupons, but only for what you need. So buy in bulk for staples you use often. C. Shop the store perimeter for the healthiest, most affordable foods. 9. Reduce food waste by using up what you have. 10. Set a grocery budget and track your spending each month. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That sounds great, but life gets busy and sometimes I just need to grab whatever's easiest. I hear you. There are definitely weeks when I can't do all 10 steps perfectly, and that's totally okay. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to make progress. Even doing 2 or 3 of these tips each week can put serious money back in your pocket. The key is to pick one thing to try this week, see how it goes, and build from there. Maybe this week you'll try meal planning for the first time, or challenge yourself to skip the snacks aisle. Next week, maybe you check out your store's app for digital coupons. Every little bit counts, and those small changes add up faster than you think. Here's a personal example. Not long ago, I realized I was buying the same expensive snack bars every single week. They were convenient, but at $5 a box, it really added up. I decided to try making my own at home with oats, peanut butter, and a few other basics. Not only were they tastier, but I saved about $15 a month just on that one swap. Over a year, that's nearly $200 just from changing one habit. Imagine what you could do if you put a few of these tips to work in your own kitchen. Saving money on groceries isn't about deprivation or giving up all your favorites. It's about being intentional, making smart choices, and celebrating the wins along the way. So, which tip are you going to try first? I challenge you to pick one and give it a shot on your next grocery trip. If you find something that works for you, share it with a friend or drop your own favorite money-saving hack in the comments. We're all in this together, cheering each other on as we chase those big financial goals, one grocery trip at a time. Remember, you don't have to do it all at once, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Start where you are, use what you have, and watch those savings stack up. Happy shopping, and here's to keeping more of your hard-earned money in your pocket every single month.